My name is Teresa Lockwood. I reside in Violin, New Jersey, and I am warning people against false ministers who have or presenting these deluded false ideologies, who are claiming they are praying to God to take away people's depression and anxieties. God's not going to do any such thing. Why? Because a depression anxiety is not a mental illness, and it is not a sin. It is a natural defense designed in us for survival. Okay? Depression is the opposite of oppression. Okay? These people usually do not speak against the oppressors and bring the knowledge of God against what is causing the depression of the oppressors, in which, well, these churches are the ones that are oppressing people with their false delusions because they are against God. Okay, so depression is the opposite of oppression. Okay, so the thing is, depression does not cause pain and suffering. Depression is a release from what is causing the pain and suffering. Example, if the oppressor, the abuser, is unjustly oppressing an innocent person, okay, that person is going to be grieving or depressing. Okay, so the thing is that yes, the whole entire world is deluded with false knowledge of depression. Depression anxiety is a like a signal warning or identity of those who are oppressed. Okay, now there are similarities in such as things as that can bring you down. Like, yes, depression does bring you down, and it is a survival technique. And we should keep in righteousness in depression and realize that the depression is okay. What is not okay is the oppression. Okay, so if you hear these false ministers like Paula White, or all these false evangelists who are basically continuously bringing the same confusion, they have nothing new. They put a paint job on old school false ideologies. The one who mainly kindled this evil of that depression anxiety is like a lack of faith or a mental illness was mainly infected society coming out of a false prophet called John Wesley, who created what is called the Methodist or false methods of the what is deemed as a Methodist church. Okay, so John Wesley was a false prophet. And he basically was a domestic violence abuser. So he created the electric shock machine, by the way, to torture victims who express depression and anxiety. Why? Because most of the time, the depression and anxiety is evidence from the conscience that there's an oppression. Okay, you most of the time caused by an abuser or a tyrannical governing rulers and things like that, like Hitler and things like that. Which I just want to let you know, the influence of the false ideologies of this false Methodist church, falsely claiming to be Christian, is actually much of their ideologies were infected and actually formed what is deemed what is known as the Holocaust. Okay, so yeah, the oppression of the monstrosities of Nazism was basically conformed by the false leaders prior to, the Nazis. So they were infected by false ideologies and became evil. And they still infect the world today the same. And these false ideologies cause many deaths, many torture, electric shocks or whatever, simply because somebody was a victim of oppression and was expressing evidence from their conscience of being grieved by the oppression in society.